Hello, YouTube. We are starting a story channel. We want to tell you some amazing stories that happened in real life. Some of the stuff's going to be very unbelievable. That's fine. We're just simply going to give you the facts and tell you how we felt and what we went through as each story unfolded. We're going to call it Real Stories with D'Artagnan. I'm going to call myself D'Artagnan, and we'll just leave it at that. The first story we want to label is The Birthday Party. This was the very first impressionable memory I have as a child. Turns out it was a tragic event, but it is what it is. I hate that term, but there you go. Anyway, we were, it was me and my sister, and we were at a birthday party in a complex. I was probably 6 years old. She was 2 years older than I was. And we were inside, we had we lived in townhouses. This was a building with 3 units in it, and separated by about 30 feet apart for stairwell and sidewalks. And we were inside the building, inside the townhouse. And I don't even remember the details about it. But she, the woman that was organizing the whole thing, they opened the door and ushered us out. I guess we were going to go outside and play a game in the yard or something. I don't even know. We didn't get that far. And as we filed out, they had us in single file. And as we filed down the sidewalk, I couldn't even venture to guess how many kids there were. It filled up the sidewalk, and they were still coming out. So there was like 4 or 5 kids in front of me. And then all of a sudden, there was a real loud sound, and we all just froze in our tracks, turned and looked, and it was a neighbor, the next door neighbor. It was an elderly gentleman, came out of the house through the screen door, and the screen door swung open, and he walked backwards down the stairwell, feeling for the stairs with his foot while he was still concentrating on whatever was in the house. So, as it turned out, looked like a kid. He's probably, 15 to 17 years old. Came out, and he was screaming at the elderly gentleman. And he pointed at him, and then punched him in the chest. And the elderly gentleman stepped back. He stumbled. He didn't fall, but he stumbled like he was losing his balance. And then it was in a heartbeat. The kid said, "You keep your hands off of her. That's my mother, and we're not going to take this anymore." And then he reached into his pocket and pulled out what turned out to be a snub-nosed .38 pistol, and he shot the man twice in the chest, and he fell dead right there in front of all of us. He laid down in the sidewalk and was bleeding and not moving. The kid turned and walked back in the house, and that was it. The organizers of the party were like ninjas. I mean, they swooped in and got us kids and schooled us all back inside and got us out of harm's way. I didn't keep in touch with any of the people. I've never talked to anybody else since, but that is the very first thing I remember as a young child.